Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our information webinar about international programs in the School of Business and Society. I'm Allison Freiberg. I'm the Associate Director of International Programs, and I'm going to take you through the program, the courses that we have offered, the trips we have offered particularly in spring 2024. So here we go. First thing I want to do is a little overview. And with our School of Business and Society travel programs, we provide you with 8 to 11 days, usually about 10 days, of guided international travel tailored to your schedules. You don't have time for 3 months of study abroad, right? So what we did was we created shorter term programs with some preparation on the front end and some time afterwards for assignments so that we can do these 10-day programs. And they are fully planned, budget friendly, and you will have 2 faculty members with you at all times. Now, each day on these study abroad programs, we visit businesses and have academic lectures, but we also give you plenty of time to explore the places you're going. We want you to really get to know the places you're visiting, and so we want to give you time to do that as well. And one thing that's really important, it's a real differentiator, is that as working professionals, we know that you don't go to school alone. There's family, friends, and all sorts of folks that are involved with your experience. So we don't think you should have to study abroad alone as well. You're welcome to bring guests, friends, family, whoever you'd like. We don't want you to choose between a vacation with your spouse and a study abroad opportunity. So just know that you can bring a guest or 2 guests or 3 guests. Okay, we have 2 kinds of courses for you. One, and the one I'm going to focus on today, is our study abroad courses. Now, this is, we call this International Area Studies, and this is the 8 to 11 day program, usually 10 days, where we visit businesses every day. Okay, and I'm going to talk mostly about that. We also have a consultancy capstone course, and we have a global one, but we also have a domestic one as well. And this is an option to replace your capstone. You can also, in most of our programs, replace your capstone with a regular study abroad, but you can also replace it with a consultancy experience. And I'll talk a little bit about that as we move forward. But and our next consultancy will be in the summer of 2024. So think about that if you have your capstone coming up. We will focus here on our study abroad trips. And here's where we've been recently. Very, very exciting. We try to go everywhere, and we've been up and running again since 2022, and after our COVID break, of course. And we're excited about everything that's ahead. This, by the way, these are pictures from our South Africa trip that we did in 2019. All right, the consultancy, the global consultancy specifically, you have to apply to it. It can replace your capstone, and if you get chosen for a team, then that team is then sent to work for a week, to consult for a week with a company abroad. And here are some of our great teams. This was a team in Iceland. These were teams in Italy. And this was a local team up in Idlewild a couple of years ago. And we just want you to know that this is an opportunity for you in the future. And if you want to read more what it's about, just click on that or scan that QR code and it'll take you right to our consultancy page. Now, our 2024 international travel courses are, our first one is Cambridge, London, and Paris. Now, we've been running this program for many, many years, I think almost 30 years. And this time I'll be teaching that this spring. It's going to be from April 3rd to the 13th. And the price really is coming in at around $3,200. And let's see what each of the courses has a theme, because you can't just it's not just business, but it's a specific aspect of business. And for this trip, I really wanted, based on the businesses I have really good connections with, I wanted to focus on creating social value, creating positive social impact in business. So I'll talk a little bit about what that means in a second, and of course you have a beautiful picture of London here. Let's see. So there's a course description. You can read through it. You can pause this and read through it. But it really just talks about what we mean by social value. Now, we start off with 3 nights in Cambridge, England, uh, right in the heart of the city, right in all of the universities, buildings, and students and activities and opportunities. It's really a great location. We start at the Arundel House, which is a lovely little hotel. It's not a chain hotel, and it is entirely Victorian and charming and everything you would imagine about a small English hotel. And the kinds of visits we're working on right now are, for example, Cambridge Clean Tech. We're going to do a workshop with them about clean energies, clean technologies that are being developed in the larger Cambridge area, which is obviously uh, a significant place of research. We also will probably go to KISS Communications, which is a marketing firm, and ask them about their clients, their campaigns that have focused on positive social impact or creating social value. We'll have a walking tour around Cambridge through the university and through King's College Chapel, which is just amazing. And we'll have a welcome dinner that's included at the Architect Pub. So get ready to order some fish and chips or a steak pie and really experience the English tradition. You'll have plenty of time on your own to explore Cambridge. You can go, this is a bunch of students punting, and this is a little rowboat. Someone rows you down. It's kind of like English gondolas, and they'll ride you right down the River Cam, which splits the entire university. It's quite an experience. I always recommend people go to the Cambridge Library. They have an exhibit room, and you can see Darwin's notebooks. You can see Newton's notebooks. Um, and there's also a rumor that in Cambridge, you can see a descendant of the tree that the apple fell off of and hit Newton on the head for his development of or discovery of gravity. So very exciting, very historical place. And we'll have 3 nights in Cambridge. Then we move on to London and we transfer by a private motor coach, and that's all included. For a 4-night stay at the Holiday Inn Bloomsbury in central London, absolutely fabulous location. There's a tube stop, that's the subway system. Tube stop, a 2-minute walk away, there's a wonderful little shopping center right across the street where there's groceries and cleaners, a washer, a pharmacy, a laundromat, all that kind of stuff. So great services right nearby. It's right near the British Library, right near the British Museum, right near famous Russell Square. Great location in central London, easy access to everything. We'll visit on the way in. We'll stop in Tottenham, which is in North London, where there are no tourists. But I have a lot of business connections there, and it's an area of London that has really been revitalized by entrepreneurs and business leaders in a very respectful way that really focuses on the local community. So we're going to visit a couple of businesses there. We're looking also at Arup, which is an architectural firm, and my contact there focuses on the area of accessibility and inclusive design. So I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say, and also looking at connecting with Living Wage Foundation in London. Now, you've all heard of minimum wage, and we all know that's not enough to live on in most places. Well, London is especially relevant there because London's a very expensive city, but this is a foundation that a business can get certified by to say that they actually offer a living wage rather than just a minimum wage. You will also have an absolutely free day in London. Let's see, you can visit museums, take a spin on the London Eye, see what's going on at Buckingham Palace. You could taste your way through Brick Lane's curry shops. I know that's what I'll be doing. You can see a play or walk along the Thames. There's just no end to what you can do in London, and I'll be excited to see what you choose to explore. Now, then, after 4 nights in London, we then get on the Eurostar train and go under the English Channel and end up in Paris for a 3-night stay at the Ronceret Opera Hotel. Oh, I forgot to say this. Both in London and in Paris, you'll get transportation passes. So you can ride the tube and buses in London, and you can ride the metro and buses in Paris for free. So you can go anywhere you want. And you don't need that in Cambridge because you can walk everywhere in Cambridge. It's very tiny. Now, the Ronceret Opera Hotel, I believe, is in the 9th arrondissement, absolutely central. There are 2 metro stations about 300 feet from the door. There's also a grocery store right across the passageway from the Ronceret. It's a great hotel. It has that kind of Parisian feel. Wonderful. And our business visits on the in the Paris portion include, and we're working on securing these right now, a farming startup that grows gardens in Paris parking lots. So that idea of urban farming. We're going to focus on organizations that teach computer and coding skills to refugees so that people who are coming into France, coming into Paris especially, have a chance to integrate and really succeed and thrive. And we're working with a champagne entrepreneur who supports women-owned businesses in Paris. And yes, there might be a little tasting involved. We'll have a guided walking tour of some of Paris's most famous sites. We're actually staying not far from the Moulin Rouge. Everyone wants to go to the Moulin Rouge. And we will have a farewell dinner at a classic Parisian bistro. So if you want a bit of an overview, here it is. You can grab a screenshot of this. You can also just download these slides, which are available on the website. And that's redlands.edu/Cambridge business abroad. Okay. So there's an overview of what we just went through. And what's included, what's not included. Essentially, everything is included except your airfare to get to London and then wherever you're going to go on from Paris. That's on you. And we used to do group fares, but we don't anymore because people were asking, well, number one, it's not a deal. In fact, often group fares are more expensive. And secondly, people wanted to use points, they wanted to stay longer, they wanted to go earlier, and the group fares just weren't working out. We do have a trusted travel agent that we refer to you, who for a very small fee will, I think it's $25, will book you whatever you need, including airport transfers, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And then meals not included in the program. All your breakfasts are included on all our trips. All your breakfasts are included. And there's usually a welcome dinner, a farewell dinner, and maybe 1 or 2 meals in between. So then there'll be the other meals are on your own. And obviously your incidentals, your shopping, your souvenirs, that kind of stuff. Hey, if you're going to go to Louis Vuitton here, that's on you. Okay. It's a wonderful experience from what I understand, but that's on you. Okay. All the transportation in the cities and between the cities we're going to is included as well. And so are the guided walking tours. And there's some essential Trawick travel insurance that is included. Now that doesn't apply to your flights because you arrange that on your own. So we usually recommend you take flight insurance, especially these days when you're booking your flights. Okay, trip number 2 is Italy and Slovenia, and this one is focusing exclusively on sustainable business in Venice, Trieste, and Ljubljana. That's in Slovenia. It's the capital of Slovenia. And that is coming in around 3,200 as well. I'm also teaching that one. So go ahead and email me, call me, text me, anything you want to know about either program, either spring program, just let me know. Let's see what we're doing here. Here I explain the focus of the course, and you can pause and read through that. And we start off with a 3-night stay in fabulous Venice. World famous Venice. You're going to check into the Hotel Bellarti, and that's in the Dorsoduro area of Venice, which is there's 5 sestiers in Venice, all that make up Venice. And the Dorsoduro area is in a quiet spot. It's only 10 minutes from here, which is the Piazza San Marco, one of the most famous squares in all the world. And there's usually thousands and thousands and thousands of people here during the day. And it's only a 10-minute walk from there, but it's completely quiet. And Venice can get kind of wild and busy. So you do want to make sure that you have a nice quiet place to retreat to. And that's what we will do in at the Hotel Bellarti. We'll have a welcome dinner at Al Profeta. Also, it's one of those restaurants that's down a moody alley and nobody knows about. And their mixed seafood bowl is incredible. In fact, the last time we had a group dinner there, I went back the next night to get another seafood bowl. Okay. Our visits in Venice will be first of all to Venetia, which is a sustainability innovation accelerator. So they help businesses get going. And in this one particularly, Venetia, they focus on sustainability businesses, businesses that focus on sustainability projects. And they actually use Venice as their lab in a way, with the idea being that if we can save Venice from climate change, we can save the planet. So all of their projects really focus on those kinds of business developments. We'll also go to Tessitura Luigi Bevilacqua, which is a 500-year-old textile business. Everything's done by hand. Everything is still done by hand on looms that are over 200 years old. And the textiles they produce are seen in Buckingham Palace. They're used by Dolce and Gabbana. Very, very luxurious textiles. So we'll get to see how businesses are sustained over not just decades, but centuries. We'll have a guided walking tour of Venice's famous sites, and you will absolutely have time on your own to explore. We give you Vaporetto passes. Now, as you know, in Venice, there are no cars. It's all boats. It's all walking in boats. And they have this bus system, but it's a boat bus, and they're called Vaporettos. And so you'll have a pass, a 48-hour pass, so that you can jump on any boat, go absolutely anywhere in the greater Venice area and explore. And we'll give you time to do that. So you can go to Murano and see the beautiful glass blowing. You can ride down the Grand Canal at midnight, which is amazing. You can take a gondola ride, of course. Or what I like to do is upon arrival, we usually have some jet lag, so that means you're up kind of early. So I invite people, anyone who wants to go, let's go see the sunrise at Piazza San Marco. Again, just a 10-minute walk away. And this area here, which is full of 10,000 people during the day, at sunrise, it's just us and the pigeons. And it's amazing. It's one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. Okay. After 3 nights in Venice, we'll head off to a city you may not have heard much about, and that's Trieste. It's in the it's east of Venice on the way to Slovenia, and it has a very interesting history. I actually spend a lot of time in Trieste. I work there often, and I have really good relations with the university there. So I'm very excited to show you what all that Trieste has to offer. For those of you, for example, who are familiar with, it's a big coffee city, and Illy Coffee, ILLY, is headquartered in Trieste. So we'll have a 3-night stay at the Hotel Urban in Trieste city center. Again, bus tickets are included, although this is a city you can really get around in by walking. That's one of the beautiful things about this city. It's not unlike Cambridge that way. You can walk everywhere. This is a picture from a friend's living room overlooking the Gulf of Trieste. So our visits here will include a global wine export company, DV, whose owner actually is my partner in our Wines of Italy tours that we do in the summer. So when you graduate, come on over and join a Wines of Italy tour with us. But she's going to talk to us about, she's an exporter. She's going to talk to us about export practices in relation to sustainability practices and organic wine production and all that kind of stuff. So should be very, very interesting. We will more than likely visit on the way into Trieste an organic winery so we can learn about what's going on, and an agriturismo called Milic just outside of Trieste. So learn all about their practices. We'll visit the C Lab, that's the entrepreneurship lab at the University of Trieste, and we'll have a meet and greet with their entrepreneurship students as well. And this year, they're actually focusing, that whole program is focusing on sustainable business. So you should have a lot to talk about. You will have time to explore the city. You can do a coffee crawl. You can visit seaside castles, or there's even a castle right in the middle of the city, because of course there is. And or you can enjoy an aperitivo with this view and just take in the sunshine and the sea and everything that the Italian lifestyle has to offer. Now, then we move into Slovenia, which is dubbed the greenest country in Europe. And we are going to stay for 4 nights at the award-winning Green City Hotel Ljubljana. They win these awards all the time. So we're going to talk to them a little bit about what they do in terms of hospitality industry and sustainability. You'll get transportation tickets again. And some of our visits include, they're spearheaded by a colleague of mine, Mark Kalin. He's a social entrepreneur. He's an angel investor. If business is going on in Slovenia, Mark's involved. And he has been so gracious over the years to set us up with amazing business visits. We're going to visit the Social Impact Hub. Again, an accelerator, an incubator that helps develop businesses, in this case, with a social impact or a sustainable impact. We will visit Ecotourist Farm Kimitica Urska, which is out in the countryside, and we visited Urska many times. And you'll learn about the agriturismo business in Slovenia, agritourism, and their focus on sustainability. We'll have a beautiful lunch there out in the countryside. We'll visit a marketing company, some B2B platforms that focus on sustainability projects, all that kind of good stuff. You will get a free day. Now, we may organize a day where we go to Lake Bled and visit. They have a specialty school of management that focuses on Central Europe and the kinds of projects that are going on. And they do a lot of MBA programs. They do a lot of leadership programs, and they focus in many ways on the connection between the arts and business. You'll have plenty of time. You'll have a free day, an entire free day. Every program I run, you have one day that's entirely free. So you can sleep in and then just go explore what you want. Now, Slovenia has amazing caves and castles. You can just enjoy your time by the river here. Our hotel is about a 2-minute walk from this location right here. So it's a great location. There's castles and caves. There's all sorts of stuff in Slovenia. The beautiful thing about Slovenia is no matter where you go, and they have a beautiful bus system, no matter where you go, nothing is more than an hour away from Ljubljana, the capital. Okay. All right, so there's our overview. You take a peek at that. And again, same kinds of things are included as the UK-France trip. Same premise there. I think there's a couple more lunches involved here with Urska and maybe Milic and maybe a tasting at the winery. Okay. Now we have a third trip in the fall. Now I'm not running this one. If you want information on this one, you need to contact Dr. Michael McQueen. There's his contact info, and he'll tell you all about it. But it's going to go to Singapore and Vietnam, with an optional trip to Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Now, a number of years ago, I took students to Vietnam and Cambodia, and it was a remarkable trip. So I encourage you to explore that one as well. Contact Professor McQueen. This is the consultancy. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I want to focus on the trips. But if you do have your capstone coming up and you don't want to take a regular study abroad, you may consider the consultancy. For more information, Scan the QR code. These ones, by the way, were all in Italy. I tend to take people to Italy to do the consultancy. Okay, frequently asked questions. I'll go through these pretty quickly because you can scroll through these. These are your course substitutions. So if you're in the MBA, these are the courses that can sub, BSB, those are the courses MSOL, MSBA. So no matter what course program you're in, there's a course that will substitute for you. So you can do a study abroad. It's essentially a 3-phase program. So over the course of about 6 weeks before we depart, before our program begins, we have 3 virtual class sessions, and they're spread out over those 6 to 8 weeks. And we get you ready for the trip. There's smaller assignments, discussion forums, some preliminary work on your research projects, some instruction on how to do the travel journal, things like that, right? So there's 3 of those sessions. Then we travel. That's when we're right here for those 10 days. And then after travel, after the conclusion of the program, we give you about 2 to 3 weeks to finish up your research project and your travel journal and get those in. So again, it gives you time to get the assignments done, to do the work of the course, so that when you're traveling, you're really focusing on the experience of visiting the businesses and enjoying those places. What if I'm taking another course when the trip occurs? Let's say you really want to go on the UK-France trip, creating social value, in April, but you're taking another class at the time and that class doesn't substitute for a study abroad. That's okay. Everybody's doing that. Most everybody's doing it. They're taking another course at the time. We just work it out with the instructor. Worst thing that happens these days, since everything's still on Zoom and Teams, is you might end up logging into class. It'll just be late for you when we're abroad. Okay? But choose the trip you want to go on. And if you're taking another course concurrently, it's not a problem. What kind of businesses do we visit? All sorts. Here's some examples. This, by the way, is Luigi Bevilacqua. This is the 500-year-old textile workshop atelier in Venice. Okay, but you can see the kinds of places we've gone to. And we also want to make sure you have plenty of time to see stuff. So here we are. Let's see. We know that's the Eiffel Tower. This was a soccer stadium we visited in Trieste. These are folks hanging out in Thailand. Here we are at the Mandela Museum in Soweto in South Africa. And then here we were in Vietnam, and we took a boat ride all afternoon on Halong Bay. And here we are a little after sunrise in Prague on the Charles Bridge. You can see people look a little tired, but we really enjoyed watching the sunrise over the river. What's included in the price? I've talked about that. The main thing that's not included is your airfare to the international destination and then home or onward from the international destination. All travel during the dates of the program is included, even if there's a flight. Now, for example, on the Vietnam-Singapore one, there's going to be a flight during the program, so that's included. It's the international transatlantic or trans-Pacific travel that's not included. There are scholarships available, lots of them. Okay, the only thing to really note is that all the scholarships are dispersed as credit into your student account. We don't give you a check, we give you a credit in your student account. Guests, as I said, you can bring guests, absolutely. In fact, even if you just want to come as a guest, you can. We've had people who have come as guests who have come back as alumni and just wanted to travel with us and go to the business visits. Some people don't want to go to the business visits, whatever. We're good with that. We just want you to travel with us if you want to travel with us. Safety, of course, we're focused on your safety. And we want you to know that we follow all guidelines and regulations and processes and policies set forth by the university, and regulations, policies, and laws, obviously, in our destinations. So we're there, we're looking out for you. And as I said, we always have 2 faculty members with you. If you want to see stuff going on, just again, this download these slides. And again, if you can't find the slides, depending on where you're watching this from, just let me know. You can usually find them right here. You will be able to find them right here. Or you can always email me. So here I am. This is how to reach me. Okay. And this is Chris Mee. She is our program specialist. She's there to help you as well. And then, as I said, Dr. McQueen, who's running the Vietnam Singapore trip, there's his information right there. If you're ready to sign up, and I hope you are, if you are a student, you should contact your student success advisor to make sure you have an appropriate course substitution. You would complete the appropriate registration form, and here's the QR code for that. If you're a graduate student, there's a graduate student form. If you're an undergraduate, there's an undergraduate student form. And if you're a guest or alum, there's a separate form for you as well. And they're all located on this page. And above all, after you fill out that form, call Chris Mee. Trust me, call her or email her and tell her you filled out the form, because sometimes it's hard to find the submit button on that form. Anyway, she's going to give you the link to where you can make your deposit. We ask for a $500 deposit to secure your spot on any program. That deposit is refundable up to 90 days before the program starts. After that, we've already paid hotels and stuff. We can't give you the money back. And so, but your spot isn't secure without that deposit. So if you're thinking about doing one of these, go ahead and make the deposit. Call Chris. She can give you the link to where you make that deposit and get you all set up. Okay. And that concludes our introduction to our School of Business and Society Study Abroad. Call me, text me. Well, you can't text me with that number, but call me, email me, and let's get you signed up on one of these trips of a lifetime. Thanks so much.